What's going on, YouTube fam? Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. And please don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe if you enjoyed. So today I have a very interesting and intriguing and downright beautiful story to report, in my opinion. Definitely on this one, I want y'all to leave how y'all feel about this in the comment section below, because I think this is a very unique and beautiful story. But we're gonna get right into it. So, a Taiwanese woman coincidentally married her anonymous blood donor who actually saved her life a decade prior. And this is a true story, I'm not making this up. But the story goes 11 years prior to getting married, the Taiwanese woman, surnamed Lim, I couldn't pronounce her last name, but y'all can look the story up and get all the details that I leave out. But apparently Lim got into a severe car accident in which she almost died from a loss of blood. So luckily her condition finally stabilized after she received 10 packets of blood and 2 packets of blood platelets, which were transfused into her body to stop the bleeding. So now let's fast forward 7 years later. Lim met a guy named Lian. He was a local rice dumpling seller in the city where she was currently living. So the two met, they hit it off, and soon the two became a couple. One day, Lim, after talking about her near-death experience, became very interested in finding out who was the blood donor that actually saved her life a decade ago. I don't know what inspired this. I don't know whether the two were talking and discussing things, but it became a point of interest for her. So she kept calling hospitals and blood donation centers, but was constantly told that the information of blood donors is confidential. But she kept persuading the staff and stated she only wanted to know her savior's identity. Maybe to thank him, or maybe she wanted to do something nice for them, I'm guessing. You know, that's something I would do. So eventually the staff ended up finally giving in and revealing to her that his surname was Lian, the guy that she was currently dating. Instinctively, she read out her husband's identification number, and the staff was stunned. So apparently Lian, her boyfriend at the time, was an avid blood donor. And it was actually, as fate would have it, his platelets that saved Lim's life years ago. So after being in a serious relationship for a few years, they eventually ended up tying the knot, and hopefully they're living happily ever after, because that's a very beautiful story, and that's a very interesting way to meet your significant other. Like I said, I thought this was a very interesting story, and then when I read it, I knew I had to share it. I knew I had to report this because I knew y'all would enjoy it. But in my opinion, this sounds like a movie. It sounds like something that the best producers in the world would come up with. And actually, on that note, I hope this story does become a movie. So any movie producers or any type of producers out there that's listening, this would make a great movie, or at least a Netflix special, or what may have you. But in my opinion, I think this story is gold. It actually shows the beauty of life, and that things like this can actually happen. And I don't know what inspired these two to come together, but think about all the things that would have had to transpire for those two to meet. After that happening, they would have to be in the same place at the same time. They would have to enjoy each other's energy and company, and decide to become a couple. Just take away them becoming a couple, just the fact that them meeting is coincidental. You have to think, what's the chances of meeting the one person that saved your life? And something that's more intriguing is, you could say, has something like this, that coincidental, ever happened to me? Have you ever met somebody who might have helped you in silence, or did something for you that you didn't know? It's a bunch of mystery and intrigue around this story. And I don't know what brought these two together. Was it divine intervention? Was it just the universe acting the way the universe does? Was it God? Was it that brought these two souls together? I mean, it could have been a number of different things, but like to hear something like this just shows you like the beautiful side of life, and amongst all the bad things that life can produce some beautiful situations. And it also, to go deeper, it shows the beauty of sacrifice. In that, I'm saying that her husband being an avid blood donor. Now, he didn't say why he gave blood. Some people give blood because they need money. Some people give blood because they just like helping people. Now I don't know what his reasons were, but his reasons had a great reward, because you got to think, if he was not an avid blood donor, there's a chance that she could have not survived. Now she could have not have survived anyway, even with receiving the blood. She could have still not survived. She could have still died, but she survived because people like her husband who give blood. And if nobody ever donated blood, especially if he never donated blood, it's a good chance that this story never surfaces. So, and on top of all that, I believe you have to be the same blood type to transfer blood. So they would have to been the same blood type. Don't quote me on that. I'm not an expert on blood transfusions, but I believe that is the case. Anybody who has more details in the comments below, I'm always welcoming comments and information. But so all these things had to transpire for this story to come out. But the most beautiful part about it is that they ended up meeting. Against all odds, they ended up meeting and ended up falling in love even before she knew he was the one that saved her life. So you could say it a way that he's her hero. He was her like Prince Charming or hero or whatever title you want to put on it, but he literally saved her life. Unbeknown to him, but it's beautiful how it turned out, and that these two hit it off. They actually liked each other, and then later found out, hey, I saved your life, And because he was willing to sacrifice his body, and because he was the type of person that would do that, he ended up finding a wife and the love of his life, and maybe potentially a partner for the rest of his days. So I think it's a lesson in this. I feel like every story has a lesson, but it shows that sacrifice. A lot of good can come from sacrifice, and just having faith in the world and the universe, and how beautiful, and how it can move and bring pieces together. And who's to say something like this doesn't happen to you or me or anybody? But so I'm gonna wrap this up. I know I've been kind of rambling, but I just thought it was a very beautiful story. Wanted to express my opinions on it. Again, I would be very happy to hear y'all opinions on it. So definitely leave that in the comments below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and there'll definitely be more to come. So smash that like button for me, and thank you for your time, and thanks for listening. And as always, thank you and goodbye for now.